All right, guys, let's jump in. 21.1, talk a little strategy. We're here to do our best, right? The vast majority of us, we're not going to the games. We're here to do our best, give it our all, and then go home and have a blast with our friends and our families. And so let's give it our best, get through the workout, and talk about how to strategize it so that we can get a few extra points, right? This is definitely a pace type workout. We're also turning this into 15 minutes of as much work as possible. It just is what it is. Carrie Pierce came in at 14 and change, so let's be real. Most of us aren't getting it done faster than Carrie Pierce. She's got boulder shoulders. Most of us don't have boulder shoulders. And most of us CrossFitters are also carrying a little bit of extra weight, which plays against us on the wall walk. So we've got 1 wall walk, 10 double unders, 3 wall walks, 30 double unders, 6, 60, 9, 90, 15, 150, 21, 210. This is going to get real right there. But before we get there, let's talk about fueling. Fueling for this, today, just make sure you have eaten your normal amount of food. And going forward for the open, just make sure you're eating well on Thursday. Nothing crazy. You're not trying to set yourself up for hour, 2-hour workouts on Friday. We just need to be fed. More importantly, we need to have tapered our intensity Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So if you haven't done that this week, next week, make sure you've tapered your intensity Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday if you want to give it your best on Friday for the open workout. From a fueling perspective for tomorrow, what we're looking at, not a lot is going to really help. But there are some things that can really hurt. So if you put something in your stomach that's, when you get upside down or when you're jumping a lot, it's jostling, you're gonna have an issue during the workout and it's gonna present problems. It's going to get in your way. It's gonna get in your head. It will mess with you. So whatever you put in your body within a couple hours of the workout, make sure it's something that you can digest easily and sits well. It's super individual, so you've gotta know, you gotta know yourself on that one, right? For the fueling. It could be some Sour Patch Kids. Maybe that's just what you like, what you need. A couple hours ahead of time, you've got a full meal, and then something closer could be some Sour Patch Kids. For me, it was a fruit bowl. I had a fruit bowl about an hour before I actually did the workout, and that was really enjoyable. So it's probably gonna be a little bit of carbohydrate, like you're not trying to go jam a bunch of cheese in there right before a workout like this. That would be silly. So focus on some carbs, some oats, some fruit, some sugars, something that's gonna sit well. And a couple hours ahead of time, make sure you're fed. That way, it's at least not an issue. Getting into the work, wall walks are no joke. So you've really got to know yourself with this movement, and especially in combination with the double under. Up front, if you have wall walks, the 1, the 3, the 6, the 1 and the 3, it's easy, you're just getting through. Really, you just have to make sure you don't scream through the 3. Take a small break between each one, make sure your shoulders are okay. When you get to the 6, that's when you're really gonna start to feel it. If you go too hard on the wall walks and you're trying to bust through them, the 6 and the 60 is gonna blow you up. The 9, this is where, the 9 is really where it gets real. There were 2 of us that did it in the gym tonight, and we both came together afterwards and we said the 9. The 9 is where it got real. So when you step up to the round of 9, do your first 3 intentionally paced. Do 1, small break, do a second, small break, do a third. When you get into the back half of it, if you feel like you can get to the double unders a little bit quicker and do the last 3 a little bit faster, great. This workout, the domain for this workout, what we are working in for a, what we like to call modality, it's gonna be stamina primarily. So we think of cardiorespiratory endurance, you're gonna go run for a while or maintain an elevated heart rate for a while. When we think of strength, we're throwing around a heavy barbell. When we think of stamina, what we're doing is repeating a strength or plyometric movement over and over and over again. And we have to reapply that level of strength. So wall walks require a degree of strength in order to perform them, and it is not easy. Even though we're keeping that arm straight, there is a lot of musculature that's getting worked here. And then you have to reapply that strength over and over and over again to stay in the movement. And then we're turning to doubles, and we're forcing you to jump. The jump is not a big problem. If you have double unders, that is not where this workout is going to break down. You just have to stay smooth and consistent. But where you need to relax is in the shoulder. That shoulder has to relax, and you have to focus on the doubles in the wrist. That way, you have an opportunity to flush that muscle out instead of using it. And then you get to reapply your strength when you get back to the wall walks. So know yourself. If your doubles are the struggle, then you're essentially doing your wall walks with the goal of doing them slowly and getting through them so you are super, super fresh to be able to give it your all and get as many of those double unders as is possible. But if your double unders are pretty good and pretty consistent and you can relax that shoulder, it's about how much you can trust and dig into the shoulders on the wall walks to get to the double under. More than anything else, this is going to be a game of trust and walking on the edge of a cliff between you and your shoulder, and the ability to continue doing that movement and get back to the double unders and be able to relax it. Now, if you're like me and you're here and you're in a mask and you're doing it, I'm just gonna say right now, that is a bit of a struggle bus, no matter what, when you get to those deeper sets of double unders. So you are gonna rely on the oxygen side of things quite a bit more. But for anybody that's free breathing, the respiratory side of things is not going to be nearly as much of an issue as is the strength application for that wall walk. And when you get to the set of 9, be purposeful about the way that you break that up, because that's going to set the stage for your ability to get through the 15s and the 21s. Personally, I think the workout design right now is that most people are going to get stuck here or here and struggle to get through. Those that get deeper into this, if you get into the doubles, you've got an amazing score. If you get deep into this set of 21, I think getting into the set of 21 with any depth is going to give you that top 10% and get you through to quarterfinals. So if you strategize the 9, strategize the 15, and you're smooth through the doubles, then you can get into that set and, 1 minute remaining, crush it. Give it your all at that point and just get as many reps as you can. That'll get you through to quarterfinals, I think, personally, getting deep into that. Let's see. Individual movement strategies. So the double under, if you know at a certain point your double unders break down or they get your heart rate super elevated, there is no reason not to break them. You could do your 10, do your 30, and then do 2 sets of 30, 3 sets of 30, 5 sets of 30, 7 sets of 30, and be absolutely fine. That is not where the bulk of the work is. That is where you need to be resting. the bulk of your work and your worry is in these wall walks. When you are wall walking, we're going to get into some of the movement strategy now. When you are wall walking, you're going to put your hands on the tape, press your chest away from the floor, and then bring your butt as high as possible with straight arms. Walk your feet onto the wall, get them up as high as possible, and then bring your hands, shimmy them down with straight arms down to the 10-inch line, the inner line. So starting from that over here, press up, cobra from your knees, butt in the air, and then both feet come off the ground because they have to. So you're gonna get both feet up, or even like this, and then pike in. Get to that 10-inch line, and then walk back out until you touch the tape, and then come down and bring your chest to the floor. Being able to get your butt up before you've got your feet on the wall is actually a huge part of the strategy in reducing the amount of time that you're under tension with the shoulder. So, cobra, butt up as high as possible, get the feet up there, shimmy in quickly, shimmy out, feet down, shake it out. Now, I was actually laying down. I would put my arms out or put my arms here and then come in for my next rep. Depending on how you're feeling, you may want to do the same thing, because if you stay like this, you're going to keep the shoulder loaded and it has no ability to rest. So you have to have some sort of way to rest, and that's either going to be to lay on the floor and put them out, or you're going to sit up a bit, shake it out before you go into your next rep. But these are purposeful reps. They are not one right into the next, because your shoulder will absolutely blow up. And you want to dance on the edge of the cliff. You don't want to jump. Doubles, we just talked about breaking it up, 30, 30, 30, 30. I think 30 is a great number if you can maintain that. If you get into it and the set feels great and you can just go all the way through because your doubles are fantastic, by all means, do that. There's no reason not to. And then get back to those wall walks. The one thing I would say about the double unders, don't throw your rope. Don't be silly, don't throw your rope. You're working here and you're probably gonna be jumping in or around the same spot. So when you get done with your doubles, put your rope down where you want to pick it up, and then go do your wall walks. You're not going to save any time by throwing the rope and getting right into your wall walks. Just put it down purposefully and get into the wall walks. So I think that's pretty much it. This is a very, very muscular type workout. Even though, double unders have a tendency to get people's heart rates up, I don't think that is going to be the limiting factor for most people. Either you have this skill or you're going to struggle with this skill, but from a cardiorespiratory perspective, that's not the issue. So, know yourself, strategize according to where your difficulties lie. Make sure you don't put anything in your body that's going to cause a GI issue when you get upside down or when you do a lot of jumping. And then perform your movements with a purpose. So we're trying to reduce the amount of time under tension with that shoulder by pressing away into cobra and leaving the hips on the ground, the hips and knees on the ground for as long as possible. I think that makes for a really good strategy to get as deep as you possibly can into this thing and have a blast doing it, right? Don't put too much into this stuff. Remember, if you go too hard in these first couple sets, none of this matters because you'll just blow up your shoulders when you hit the 6. But if you pace it out nicely, you use a little strategy, you'll get into that latter half of the workout, and you can really dig in and do whatever you want at that point. Because then you're just grabbing at reps. And every rep counts. And I think this is really going to be that sticking point. So once you get there, it's a fight with your shoulders. And not necessarily a fight, but you're gonna feel that burn. There's going to be some weakness. You wanna maintain locked out elbows and that shimmy and really just push through each individual rep and go hard. Because that's where, you could get that one rep and I think jump 2,000, 3,000 places on the leaderboard. So that's huge. 10 seconds left. If you can get 2 reps, get them. But remember, it's all about the community. So cheer on your fellow CrossFitters and have fun with your friends and enjoy. It's 21.1. We're coming out of COVID. We're competing again. We're having a blast. Hope you guys do too. My typical Freedom Calorie sign off. Happy eating.